Hello and welcome to Follow Everton. Apologies, we're a little bit late. A few technical issues with the phone tonight and the microphone. Everyone was saying it was crackling last night, so we've sorted it out now. I'm back on the iPad. Good evening, my friend. How are you, Wez?
I'm good, the Robster. I'm good. We've sorted out the technical issues now. Those fogies we were like pulling what air up that we have got out of our heads, trying to figure out what was going on. But you know, we got there. Evening, Robbie.
Evening, bud. It's bizarre, isn't it? Last night we did the pre-match, and everything was great. As soon as you do the post-match, it's start crackling.
Yeah, you know that technology is great if it works, doesn't it? But obviously you've got issues going on. I don't know. We can't figure out what it is. But
as long as it's only issues, technical issues, buddy, there's no issues going on in my life, thankfully, apart from Everton.
No, which is a massive issue.
So, welcome to a midweek Wednesday Night Blues. We thought we'd just do a little chat and try and have a laugh and have a little overview of the game last night and a few little things that are still ongoing with the club. Send us your comments, and if you'd like to like and subscribe if you haven't done already, then it does help the channel. We've currently got 2,600 on YouTube and just under 7,000 on X. Not quite sure on Facebook. So is Robbie? Is Robbie new?
No,
is Robbie new?
On before.
Yeah, Robbie's just that surname. Yeah, see the memories going. Wes, it's not just not technology, mate. Yeah, Robbie said, "Come on, Arsenal tonight."
Yeah, I think that we need them to give Luton a good stuff and give that to get that goal difference up a bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've kind of last night at one point there was only one goal in it with us and Notts Forest. One goal in our favour, and I thought when that second one went in with Newcastle before it got choked off, I'm thinking we're going to be level on points here and level on goal difference.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately now we've got a lot of winnable games coming up on the horizon. You know what I mean? So we need to knuckle down. Hopefully now DCL getting that penalty, it'll make him go on a little run. You know what I mean? So you've got to also remember Brentford's playing Brighton tonight, so we need Brighton to beat Brentford as well because we're only a point behind Brentford, and we've got them coming up. So there's a lot of stake tonight, the Robster.
Yeah, I've had a look at the games today, and we've all got to play one another, haven't we? At some point.
Yeah,
and they've got to play.
Yeah, they'll be thinking exactly the same as what we are. They're fans, you know what I mean? They're the games that they need to win, and I think you know what? If we don't go to Luton and turn them over, to be beat by Luton 3 times in the season, be embarrassing for us, won't it?
Absolutely painful. So I hope everyone's feeling a little bit more relieved after the equalising goal by Dominic Calvert-Lewin last night. I did, I've got to say, even though I had crackling on my phone, I went to bed with a smile on my face. Doesn't take much these days, Wes, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. Especially at our age as well, Rob.
I mean, 1 point, and it's like I'm going to bed with a smile on my face. Yeah. Oh my God, how the mighty have fallen.
The thing is, like, if you went on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, like, all the Geordies' heads fell off. You know what I mean? And you're like, brilliant, because Everton and Newcastle for some reason have this rivalry, and I can't put my finger on what it is. And but they don't like us, and we don't like them.
Is it the Jordan Pickford scenario? Has that made things worse?
It was going on long before he was at the club. Long before he. Do you know what it is? I think, like, obviously since they've had the oil money and all that, they think they've got the right to go and win games, and they've become they've got the potential to be another Manchester City. You know what I mean? Where they get way too big for the boots.
On paper.
Yeah.
Or in the bank.
Man City. Man City have backed it up with, titles and Champions Leagues and FA Cups and Carabao Cups and all that. So, whereas Newcastle haven't at the moment.
I sent a little message in the group today, didn't I, with the Ryan's equivalent up in Newcastle, who runs the Follow Newcastle, and he came out of the stadium and he did a live stream on his phone, and you could hear the Everton fans singing in the background. And oh my God, did he slag the team off? If we think we've got problems.
You know what? I think a lot of the time, what he spoke quite sort of honestly, but then he sort of like let himself down by saying, "Oh, they're crap, they're atrocious, the relegation fodder and all this, that, and the other." And you think, look where you have come from, mate. You know what I mean? Since your oil money come in, look where you came from. You were almost relegated until Eddie Howe took over. And you started buying players.
At the bottom with us, weren't he?
Yeah, and they're the second biggest spenders behind Chelsea. So you can't turn around and, call us when, up and down the league all the time.
Do you think that's just the way things are now, mate, in the 21st century, where they love you today but hate you tomorrow? Hi, Amy.
All right, Amy.
They don't seem to be as durable, Wes.
I think as a club and as a fan base, you have to stay humble, Rob. When with the fact that if you start winning things and stuff like that, you've got to stay humble. Like when obviously me and you were around in the 80s when Everton was steamrolling and everybody back in the 80s but our fans stayed humble. We didn't think we were Billy Big Bollocks and start going around shouting the odds and calling other teams crap.
And the music was great as well, wasn't it? It wasn't just our team. It was like the music was fab as well.
But we didn't go around calling all other teams crap and stuff like that.
No, you're right. It's changed then, mate.
I've got Amy. I've got Arsenal on myself. Arsenal. I sound like I was from over the water there for a minute. I've got Arsenal on here myself, so if any goals go in, I'll let everybody know. And I'm back home as well. It's a kind of a watch along as well.
You've just took the words out my mouth, son. A watch along. If I was going to predict that one, mate, I'd go 4-0 for Arsenal.
Well, like I said before, we need Arsenal to put a good few in against these. Obviously, now Forest getting that win last night, their confidence is going to be up. Whether our confidence will take a bit of, an upward sort of trajectory from last night, who knows? We wait and see for the Burnley, but that's a must-win game. We've got to beat Burnley at home. If we don't beat Burnley at home, then we deserve to go down.
Yeah, 8 games left, mate. 8 cup finals left. 5 at home, 3 away. What are your thoughts on the... Well, there's 5 home games, including the derby. The other 4 are winnable. The derby, we all know anything can happen on the night, can't it?
Well, yeah, but the chances of us getting the result there are pretty slim. But like you say, it's a derby; anything can happen.
And you never say never, do we? Being an Evertonian.
No.
So 4 winnable games there against the teams who are down in the bottom with us. So that puts you out of sight, doesn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. But obviously, a lot of it hinges on what's going to happen with this second hearing. And it's like I thought we might have heard today. Some people are saying it's going to be next week, but you just don't know. It's like I'm hoping that it doesn't go the same way as the last one, where they kept us hanging on and hanging on.
Are you worried?
I'm worried. I'm kind of worried, but at the same time, I'm like, what comes our way comes our way. You know what I mean? It's on the players to get us out of the mess that a lot of them haven't got us into. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's not their fault that we overspent. It's down to poor management of the club. But
yeah,
here's what it is, isn't it, mate?
it's still in our own hands, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
'Cause
100%.
I don't know what the punters think out there, but I genuinely, I mean, you mentioned Kieran Maguire yesterday, and he normally gets a good feeling himself, doesn't he? He's normally pretty on the ball, Kieran Maguire. And he's kind of put it out there, and he's the first one to put it out in the public domain that he's saying he's feeling that Everton are going to get no points deduction.
Yeah, I personally, I can't see that happening, because otherwise there'd be absolutely no point in the hearing at all, would they?
Procedure.
They wouldn't be, would they? If the independent commission go, well, yeah, we're going to give you 3 points, but seeing as you're being good boys and cooperate, but good boys and girls, or they and thems, you're going to get 2 points back, and because of your mitigating circumstances with war in Ukraine and losing your sponsorships and all this, that, and the other, we're going to give you another point back. So we'll just call it quits, eh? You know what I mean? Or should we go double or quits?
I'm actually going for no points deduction on this one.
Nil point.
For whatever reason, I'm going for no points. I mean, in your head, what are you going for?
So, I hate to say it, I'd be happy with 2. 2 point deduction, and it keeps us out of the relegation zone. And then we can forget about all of that then, unless the club want to appeal it. But I don't see the sense in appealing it. If it's 2 points, it's 2 points. Keeps us out of the relegation zone. Then the play. Oh, we had a little switcheroo there.
Wow, look at that. The power of magic. Yeah, I mean, okay, so worst case scenario, let's say 2, because we're using numbers. It's still in our own hands with them home games that we've got that literally we should have been winning since the start of the season, and we haven't been putting the ball in the back of the onion, as you say.
Yeah.
So it's the destiny's in the players' hands and the manager's hands and all the backroom team. It's like for them to sort of go. And I don't know why it hasn't happened so far, to be honest with you.
No, I don't. But like our home form, for some strange reason, being atrocious, and our away form's been half decent. Well, we won three games at home all season.
Mate, you've got to feel for the season ticket holders, haven't you? Season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Wes has got one eye on his 75-inch television.
It was nearly a misplaced pass there from Arsenal. The passing's very sloppy at the minute. Very, very sloppy.
Peter Duggan, I'd like to put your comments on, mate, but we'd probably get closed down if we did.
Yeah.
Keep them swear words out of it. You get us into trouble.
Rewrite your comments and we'll put it up. without slagging off Kieran Maguire.
It is funny.
Slanderous.
Yeah, Peter, we love you. Just put it a little bit more constructive, mate, and we'll put the comments up. Okay. Thank you anyway. Lovely to see, mate. It's a Wednesday night. The numbers are going up, and it's just lovely to talk about the Blues, isn't it? And we are. I hope you all feel a little bit relieved out there. We're just been having a chat about last night's game, and Wes went for a 1-1. I was hoping we'd try and snatch a 1-0, but we couldn't keep the clean sheet again. That's a worrying sign, mate. When our rock of a defence seem to be leaking, when our not so rock of an attack don't seem to be scoring.
Yeah. I mean, they were all over the place defensively last night, and they was lucky with that goal being disallowed, and also with Mykolenko clearing it off the line. You know, they was lucky because like when Mykolenko cleared that off the line, they were literally like flapping all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Gavin's just saying, I think he means Danny Murphy there. Danny Murphy slagged off Dice on Talk Sport today, saying his tactics and his subs are too slow. But I mean, I don't know where he got that from last night because he made 3 subs on 60 minutes. So maybe he's going on the past and not off last night. And if that's the case, then he's got a point, hasn't he, Rob?
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to hear the negativity surrounding our club, but you know what? We've got broad shoulders and we've just got to accept that certain things are fact. We've got to accept that the team are very laboured, very slow, very, very predictable. Despite all the chances they were making at the start of the season, they weren't scoring. We've got to accept the fact that our management of the club has been diabolical for Wes. How many years?
Since Mashiri come in. Since Mashiri come in, what, 7, 8 years?
7, 8 years. We've been tired. We didn't all know about it. In all fairness, did we? You know, it was kind of like we thought he was going to be the man that was going to, similar to Newcastle, going to take us to the next level. And we literally just bought dross after dross after dross, unsellable assets going on to. It was just a waste. It was just like you might as well just had a big bonfire with all his £50 notes and just burnt them, because that's what's happened. Yeah,
I mean, you know, obviously we couldn't foresee what was going to happen with, you know, Filthy Sigurdsson. And then for that to come to nothing in the end was just a slap in the face, weren't it? But some of the buys that we let go for nothing, you know, Schneidlin, Tosin, all, you know, Nias, all the likes of them, and you know, big money spent on them, and you think, like, you know, you can't sustain the business when you're giving your product away for nothing, and you're buying high and giving away for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mate, they were all on 6 million a year contracts, 5-year contracts. Them, you know.
I know, and it's shocking because, you know, the thing was when, like, Mashiri come in, he promised the earth, and to a certain degree he delivered, because he put his money where he put somebody's money where his mouth was, but then it was like the players that he were buying was garbage, and they weren't good enough. It was just buying for buying's sake. You know what I mean?
But who was buying them? Wasn't Bashir, was it?
Well, this is why I said it was somebody's money.
Yeah,
and you know, you can promise anything you like, but when it boils down to it, you have to have a structure in the team from the very top to the very bottom. You know, and all you see, all the good clubs, you know, who do well in the transfer market and stuff like that, they have great structures. Like, you see what's happened at Man United. Like, you look where they've come from and where they've fell to, and that's a similar thing with Everton. But Everton's on, you know, obviously a lower level, but the expectations have never really dwindled with Evertonians. And they haven't with Man United fans. Man United fans still expect Man United to go out and beat everybody every week. We kind of like hope that they'll go out and beat everybody every week, but we're also realists, aren't we?
Yeah. I was just working out there in my head, just thinking of numbers. And those 4 players we just mentioned, Schneiderlin, Tosin, Walcott and Gylfi, over 5 years, just in wages, forget the signing on fee of how much we paid for them, just in wages, 120 million.
Yeah. Gavin's just said there, look, another one, Balassi, Gylfi Sigurdsson. Obviously we ripped up Gylfi Sigurdsson's contract. Schneiderlin, because with Gylfi Sigurdsson, we was basically forced to rip up his contract, otherwise it'd look bad on the club with what was going on with him, you know what I mean? Well, you got, you say, Walcott, Tosin, Sandro Ramirez. it won't be like we didn't do too bad with the money that we recuperated off of Wobie. You know what I mean? Moise Keane, but we got good money back off Moise Keane. So
we're coming up with a few positives for you. It's not all doom and gloom, as it was.
No, it's not all doom and gloom, but it has been. You know, the downfall started when Lukaku left and he was never replaced.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's when the downfall started.
Yeah. So that money was probably going to plug the gaps that they already had at the time then, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, he brought in all them number 10s. So what I with Koeman, what I sort of thought he was trying to do was turn us into a Barcelona where we didn't need a striker and we just had all these number 10 playmakers and we was going to score goals from them, but he didn't have the players good enough around a decent number 10 to structure us in that way.
Who was here then? Was that Walsh, was it? Or
Steve Walsh?
Was that Walsh? Walsh and then Brands, wasn't it? And then Thelwell, is that right?
Yeah.
And we got Walsh after he'd been part of the Leicester team that won the Premier League. And I think when we got him, we were going, oh my God, how come he's come to us? But it just didn't materialise, did it?
Yeah, no. The thing is with Steve Walsh, right, was that he got lucky with his buys at Leicester. He got lucky. But to me, he was only ever a chief scout. He was never a director of football.
Yeah.
He was only ever a chief scout. And he put him in the position that, like, with somebody like when Marcel Brands come in, with his reputation behind him within the football world, he could go into the likes of Barcelona and go, who have you got available? And then obviously Gomez and that came in, and Luca Dean and Yerry Mina and stuff like that. But because of his reputation, Steve Walsh should have never been able to go walk into Barcelona and go, who have you got available? He'd have gone, who are you? Some fat baldy fella with, where have you come from? This question here from Amy, what do you reckon there, Rob? I don't think we're going to be able to spend anything unless we sell.
Yeah, I agree with you. Because the stadium's still not being paid for, has it? I think a lot depends on who is going to take us over. And that's one. Just writing a few names down here. That's one that's still in the wings with the points deduction, isn't it? So that's like on the pitch. We want the players to do the business between now and the end of the season with 8 games left. But behind the scenes, I don't know how much they hear when they go to work. They probably don't. If they go to training Finch Farm, they probably don't hear nothing. And are they bothered? I don't know if they're bothered or not. If they read stuff in the press, then obviously, they're going to read it. So they're probably going to be au fait. Whether they're as switched on as you and I, or Sean Dyche has told them, listen, what goes is nothing to do with you, really. It's just going to happen anyway. So just crack on and
and to be honest,
do your best.
I can't see 777 coming in and splashing the cash, because from what I'm led to believe about the rules is owners can only inject money into the club by way of purchasing shares in the club. Now they're going to be already taking a 94.1% stake in the club, so there's no shares to buy to inject funds into the club. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know where, unless we can get maybe players in from clubs that they've got interests in.
Yeah.
Then I think that we're pretty much going to be stuffed on actually buying players in without having to sell players.
And do you know what? I've not analysed their players. Have you? Sometimes the likes of those teams that they also co-own, they're going to have some cracking players, you'd like to think, in their teams, in their setup, haven't they?
Yeah, well, you know, but it all depends on what kind of holding they have in them clubs, innit? Like if the majority shareholders in somewhere like Genoa or Standard Liège or Vasco da Gama or something like that, and they've pinpointed a young starlet that's coming through, brilliant. You know what I mean? And we might be able to get him in on loan or something like that, or get him in, on the cheap. But if they're only like, bit part shareholders, then they're obviously going to get outvoted, aren't they, by letting players go?
Yeah, because I don't think they own all of those clubs, so they've just got an interest in them. But the biggest interest is going to be us, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're the kind of the poster boys for them, aren't we? But poster boys and girls, by the way. Let's be politically correct.
So, are they wanting to buy us to flip us like you'd buy a cheap house, do it up, and then flog it at a profit?
Well, I said to you about this loan that's got to be paid off by the middle of April, didn't I, yesterday?
Yeah, that is worrying.
Which, if it's not paid off, then MSP Sports Capital have the right to take control of Everton, which maybe in a roundabout way, because they got kiboshed by Cheshire Rights Sports and Media or whatever for buying the club at the time. Maybe that's been said to you the other week, didn't I? Maybe that's been the whole sort of plan in the first place. I can't see it, like, you know what I mean? But it certainly wouldn't surprise me.
Is that? I've not heard nothing, Richo. I've not heard nothing about that one today. That's a new one for me. Where'd you get that info from, mate? Thanks in advance for if you know something that we don't. Because a date, it's all gone quiet over there. It has, hasn't it? It's all gone quiet.
Again, well, Peter Duggan said here he doesn't want them to spend money on the team, but then we'll end up back in another scrap again next season if we manage to stay up this season, Peter. The team could do with dismantling all the way through it and rebuilding, but obviously the funds aren't there to do that. So it's a slow building process, isn't it, Rob?
Me personally, I don't think you can rebuild in the Premier League like we are. I think you've got to. I'm not saying I want to take a hit and go down. That's not what I'm saying. But most of the teams that drop then have a rebuild and a restructure. But if we're trying to do it all in the Premier League whilst building a new stadium as well, it's kind of not working. The fact that we haven't got no kids coming through tells you that that's right. So basically, what they're saying, if you were one of them kids in the under-23s or the under-18s, you can see why they want to go and sign for Man City or whoever comes along, because basically you're being told you're shite.
Yeah, that young kid's just been signed by Man City, hasn't he? And he was supposed to be another top prospect, but unless we see these players, mate. Yeah, say what you like, mate. Unless we see these players and know about them, then the Thierry Smalls of this world, we can who hasn't gone on to do anything after leaving us, to go to Southampton, and now I don't know whether he's still at Southampton warming the bench or what.
So some of our strikers, Ellis Sims seems to be doing okay at which is great. Was it Broadbent that went to Ipswich?
Yeah.
Nathan Broadbent, was it? Yeah. Has he been doing well at Ipswich?
Maybe that's their level though, Rob. You know what I mean? Like we can all sit there in the hindsight and say, we shouldn't have sold Sims and we should have sold DCL and all this, that and the other. Well, banging goals in the Championship and banging goals in the Premier League is two different things, isn't it?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out next year, won't we? Was it Broadhead or Nathan Broadhead? Or was it Broadbent? What's
yeah, Nathan Broadhead.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing well, Ipswich, aren't they? How many goals has he scored, Wes, you know?
No idea. No idea.
But
Once he left Everton, he's becomes a thing of the past, doesn't he? But yeah, good luck to the lad, and I hope he achieves his dream and comes up with Ipswich and plays in the Premier League. Oh,
yeah. So
everybody seems to be a bit feeling a bit better today. You know what I mean? So the points give us a little lift. Yeah, the point yesterday's given us a little lift. And you know what? Any point going away from home is always going to be seen as a good point.
Domino Chris in the background there. Okay, Domino Chris. Domino Chris used to be on our channel. Stay tuned. He's going to be coming up with some big stuff in the very, very near future. Yeah,
he's got his own YouTube channel. And he's been going around all the grounds, 92 league grounds. And he's going to be shoving 1-0 up Arsenal. Odegaard.
He's quality, isn't he?
Yeah.
He was linked. He was linked with Everton, you know.
There's loads of players linked with Everton. Yeah, Amy's saying Broadhead's got 20 goals in 51 games.
Thanks for Amy.
Nice one, Amy.
Yeah, spot on. Made up for him. It's nice to see.
Shall I tell the viewers what happened with the what Chris has put up there?
Yeah, go on.
So what happened was me, Robbie and Chris Domino went out for a few beers one night, and what's his name? Kevin Campbell walked into the pub, and Robby Wez. I was in the toilet. Yeah, Robbie. I was in the toilet, and Robbie came, said to me when I come out, I'm sure that's Kevin Campbell there, because he had his back to us, didn't he? And I went, no, it's not. What was he be doing in here on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whatever it is?
Okay, let me stop you there. It was a lovely Italian bar. It wasn't a Wetherspoons that set the scene.
No, yeah, it was a little Italian, but it was, yeah, it's a nice quiet place anyway. So he walks in with his girlfriend, Kevin Campbell. I was in the toilet, and Robbie goes, I'm sure that's Kevin Campbell over there. And I went, nah, it's not. And then Chris went, I'm sure it's like, I'm 90% sure it is. Anyway, Robbie trundles over because Robbie's got no filter, and he's saying now, and
I'm not shy.
He had a little chat to him, and he came over and he was nattering to us for a bit, didn't he? And then got off, and then he came over later on, and he sat with us for about an hour and a half or something, Rob.
Yeah.
And I was just getting drunker and drunker and drunker, I'll be honest. And we was going on about Wayne Rooney's first ever goal, and I said I was at that game when he scored his first goal, and I said if you watch that back now, if we had VAR then, that goal would have been disallowed because he was offside when the ball was played to him. And he was like, really? And I went, yeah, if you watch it back, he was offside. Anyway, he went, whose shoulders did he jump on when he scored the goal? And I was like, got no idea. So I think it was Chris Domino, wasn't it? Or was it you that got the picture up? Yeah. And I was bladdered, and I didn't have my glasses, and I went, that's Darren Benson, innit? Being in Marcus Benson, like seeing his ass and got off, didn't he? Got his coat and got off.
Yeah.
Upset him big time. But yeah, do you know what? He is a nice fella. Isn't he? He was a nice fella, Robbie.
Yeah, we spoke about, I mean, sometimes you can relay the story, but we did genuinely speak about a few things that night that I'd chat to you if I was having a drink or a meal with you, but I certainly wouldn't publicise it over the air now because you genuinely don't know who's listening. It was just a lovely evening, and when you're in the company of someone who's done the business at the top level and he's relaying his stories, you're in awe because you just think, wow, it was fantastic. It was lovely.
What kind of interested me in that was, I asked him who the best striker he played with, didn't I? And you know, we're all thinking he's going to come out with Rooney, and he didn't come out with Alan Smith, and we were all like, bit of a strange one. I didn't think that Alan Smith was that prolific when he was playing, like, you know what I mean. But he just might have had a good partnership with him, good link up play and whatnot. You know what I mean. So it is what it is. But I think Blue Nose Dublin there's got a point. The Smollett at Blackburn banging in goals for them, and obviously we had a chance of getting that guy Keres from Coventry, and he ends up going to Sporting Lisbon, is it? Yeah. And now they value him at 70 million. You know what I mean? So it's a risk. It's a risk.
Wes, if Everton hadn't have been in the situation that we're in, then we would have had a better chance of signing them. Because clearly the agents know what's going on, don't they, behind the scenes, and they just tell their clients, swerve it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. But you also, you know, if we're going in for a bit of, you know, 15, 20 million or whatever was bandied around at the time, they obviously maybe thought they could get more money for him. I don't know what he got sold to Sporting Lisbon for, but if they're valuing him now at 70 million, they're probably looking at doubling the money at least, aren't they?
Yeah. Great bit of business. He's only been there 12 months. With regards to P. Macker, we bought Kev a pint and his girlfriend, and he did the same a bit later on, and I think he got some Irish coffees, and I couldn't sleep that night. The caffeine levels must have been phenomenal. Bailey's Irish coffee.
I slept like a baby. I was 11.
Yeah, I certainly didn't. But we had the chat about Franny Jeffers and a few of the team, a few of the players that were in the team at the time. Because, you know, like I say, sometimes what goes on tour stays on tour. So it was kind of like a private chat. I'd love to tell you all, but that'd have to be face to face. Yeah. What do you think, Wes? Yeah,
he had some interesting. He had some interesting things to say about people, that was for certain.
And he doesn't mess around, Wes, does he? He says it as it is, like us.
Yeah.
and referees as well, by the way.
Oh yeah. He had definitely had a few things that he let the cat out of the bag a few times, didn't he? But he was a good lad. He had the time for us.
Outstanding.
And it was strange because obviously Chris Domino, being from the States, they'd been doing stuff with American fan bases at the time, hadn't he? So yeah, it was good. It was a good evening all around, apart from when I pissed him off and he got off.
It was a genuine ever friend, wasn't it?
It was. I mixed up my Darrens with me Marcus's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think, you know what, that was probably the alcohol intake, because we'd had a few through the day and we were going home early, and then we decided to stay out, and that's the fatal mistake, innit? Paid for it the next day, but lovely experience. I was all right the next day, to be fair. I was surprised about it, but it was a good night. He was a nice fella, like, fair play to him. We could have turned around and, said, I'm with me missus here, lads, just leave us alone. Yeah, do one. I'm mighty glad I went over and introduced and asked them to come over and just have a picture. So mighty glad they did that, because if you don't ask, you don't get, do you? But it was very polite, as you'd expect.
Yeah,
and it was all. I did mention. I said, "Look, we do a channel. We follow Everton. Would you come over and just have a little chat? Because the rest of the lads who aren't with us, they'll be gutted." That's how we got them over. So yeah, lovely. Yeah. So Wes, you've recovered from that one, mate, haven't you? It was a schoolboy error, but it's something we can laugh about, isn't it?
Mate, I've done worse. I've done a lot worse. I've been in a lot worse predicaments than that.
And we did say, Wes, didn't we? We might talk about a few stories tonight, but you've got to be careful these days, haven't you? It's like some of the stuff, you've only got to say the wrong thing and someone takes offence, and then all of a sudden it's like, we all know what's going to happen.
You could write a book on your time. I could write a book on my time in the Navy. And like, you can go on and on about stories, you know what I mean? Be here all night, and I've got work in the morning.
Yeah, but, I mean, I've actually got a publisher down in the West Midlands, but it's a bit dodgy. But I'm going to tell a little story, right? It's not to do with football, but it's going to make you laugh, hopefully. I was doing 2013, they had big, massive concert at the Pier Head. So all the stage was all set up. And I was doing an operation with social services and whatever. And it was called Operation Stay Safe that I'd helped to set up with a few other people. So at big venues, you have young people that get lost. So it's kind of like, it was all publicised, so you could come to this place just by the stage if you got lost or you were in trouble in some shape or form. And obviously you'd have a lot of agencies there that would help you. So I got there very early in the morning, and I'm just outside looking, thinking the sun was up, and I'm going, it's going to be a nice day today. I'm really looking forward to it. And this lady just appeared from nowhere, and she said, oh, good morning. I said, oh, yeah, morning, you okay? And she said, yeah, so what are you doing? So I was telling her what we were doing. She thought it was a great idea, you know. So obviously if there's any children there, it's all about the kids, isn't it? Feeling safe and whatever. So I said, what are you doing today? She said, oh, do a bit of singing. I said, all right, are you good? And she went, I'm not bad, like. And I went, all right. I said, are you in a band? And she went, kind of. And I said, where do you think you're going to be in 5 years? This is what I said. Where do you think you're going to be in 5 years? And she went, I'm not really sure. She said, I'm open, you know, I might make a few bob, but I haven't really made it yet. And I said, well, do you know what? I hope you make it one day, and best wishes. And she went off on her way, and I went to do what I was doing. And then I was listening to some music on the day, because on the day JLS were on and other boy bands and whatever. And then I went up to the stage, and because I heard this band playing, and I thought, hey, that sounds good. And then I looked on stage, and it was Charlene from Texas. She was the lead singer. Well, that was the woman I was talking to, but I didn't know her.
Charlene
Yeah, I made the right interview myself by saying, are you good? And where are you going to be in 5 years? And I looked at her net worth the other night, mate. I think it was 64 million.
Yeah. But, I mean, that kind of shows how humble that she is. She's Scottish, isn't she?
Absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely.
Yeah. That shows you that, you know, she could have said now and said, yeah, I'm in Texas, and made you feel last. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it was just one of those naive situations similar to you with Kevin Campbell. And so, friend, just keep it going for a sec, because the battery's low on my iPad, and I'm just going to go and charge up and go in a different location. So just crack on just for a sec, mate.
Go on, mate. I'll go through some of these comments.
Just while I put it on.
Blue Nose Dublin, Dave Vixen, Cannonball Kid. Met him. I done a stadium tour myself a few years back when the ship that I was on came and docked in Liverpool. We done a little stadium tour, and Dave Vixen was the tour guide, and he was telling us all about Duncan Ferguson and how we like to be first in the bar and last out the bar, and he'd get everybody a pint in. But yeah, sadly missed the Cannonball Kid. You know, what was he saying now? He said he played for Liverpool and Everton. Like, he'd run through a brick wall for Liverpool, but he'd die for Everton. Something along those lines, wasn't it? But yeah, sadly missed. Chris Domino said he had 3 Irish coffees and sleep for more than 45 minutes. But I think I'd been out to work that day, so I think I slept quite well. Steve saying we wouldn't we wouldn't survive the championship. You know, I think we'd survive it. I just don't think we, you know, everyone would be expecting us to come straight back up, and I don't think that's a given. You know what I mean? Oh, our mate Sniffer's back. How we feeling after yesterday, Sniffer? Our Newcastle friend. To be fair,
it's best going to cost us 27, is he?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. But it'll be structured over 5 years or whatever, however long his contract was.
Yeah.
But I've got to be honest there, Sniffer. We absolutely robbed you there at 3 points. But you know, you can't have a WWE wrestler in your defence, mate. Just hang on a sec there, Rob. Just disappearing myself to shut the blinds so that nobody's nosing in.
Yeah, we're swapping over tonight, aren't we? We're swapping over tonight, all right. So, listen, if you've not hit the like and subscribe button and you are new, please, or you want to be a VIP member, it's dead easy to join us. And what Wes and I are going to do between now and the end of the season, we're open to put on, obviously, the pre-match, the post-match. We've got the watch-alongs, we've got the previews. But we're going to do like a little midweek chat because there's definitely... Mate, does that look like a spaceship landing at the back of me?
Yeah. The close encounters of the Bevington kind.
Yeah, so it's spooky. I should turn that light off, sure. But at the end of the day, mate, we're just having a chat, aren't we? It's kind of... So, yeah, we're open to do a little midweek chat about the Blues because there's some big stuff going to be taking place in the coming weeks. We have got the points situation and we've got the takeover situation.
What do you think about this comment? Are we going to outgrow Toffee TV, the Robster? I think we already have, haven't we?
Mate, I always say it's horses for courses. We've got our little fans that follow us and follow Everton, do it full time, and they've got their fans that follow us. So it's
I think you know most Toffees follow everybody, don't they, on things like this, like. Emma, who comes on our show regular, she was on Toffee Bluecast, I think it was yesterday. They were doing a little watch along. No, Dan on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
He was doing a little watch along yesterday with the Newcastle game, and she was on there. And it's it's just. I think they all tune into everyone because with Toffees, we love it. We love the club and anything to do with the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's better, in all fairness, I'd like to think that you and I having a little chat about the Blues is better than watching the soaps or the adverts on the telly.
Oh, yeah. You just found our channel. Welcome anyway, mate. Like and subscribe if you want, mate. Tell all your Evertonian friends.
That's just put follow, just Google follow Everton and you can go in on YouTube and like and subscribe. It does help the channel, getting the numbers up.
But we got on the match days and stuff like that. We have watch-alongs, and now and again we'll do a phone in and different things. And we do a pre-match preview. Me and Robbie do a pre-match, do a post-match. But we like to also talk about varying things. We don't just talk about football. We'll talk about like last week we talked about people's mental health and how Everton are affecting people's mental health, and people like they do open up on here, don't they, Rob? And they feel it's like like something to vent. Yeah, like a bit of therapy.
And UTFT is from Ireland. Oh, hey, that's great. Having a Blue from Ireland. I thought everyone supported other teams, but nice to see you, mate.
Man United, Liverpool.
Yeah. And Joey 11, I love listening to you two.
We love you coming on, mate.
Thank you, Joey.
And like Emma saying, Anne said there, she's on them all as well. So
we like a laugh, don't we, Wes?
Yeah, but there's no there's no rivalry here between us and Toffee TV or any other sort of stream that people put out. People like what they like, and especially if it comes to talking about Everton and having a little vent.
So all our friends out there currently we're on 3 figures looking on Facebook. Not quite sure at the numbers on YouTube and on X, but what we have noticed, Wes, is there literally hundreds and hundreds watch the stream after we've done it. It's not always live. So, that's great as well. But what are your thoughts? Are you thinking we're going to be safe? Are you thinking whatever the point situation is, whether it's 1, 2, none, whatever, are you thinking we're going to survive this season? Because I'm quietly confident that we're going to nail it and it will be safe again. 3rd time lucky again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Blue Nose Dublin there's just asked the question. Think 33 points be enough this season? No, I don't think it will. 2-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, no, I think more 37, 38. So I think we need to up that a little bit, Blue Nose.
Yeah, I think
33. Because we've got 26 now. So that means we're only going to get another 7 between now and the end of the season with 8 games to go. I mean, that's unacceptable. With 5 home games. So
I think you've got to be looking. You've got to be looking at getting at least 12, I think, out of the last 8 games, and then you'll stay, and then we'll stay up regardless. I think.
So that puts us on 38, buddy, doesn't it? The fact that we've lost 6 already.
Yeah. So Arsenal's 2-0 up. Nelson. They've got a few kids out here that they wouldn't really normally start. They've got a kid who's just Emile Smith-Rowe. He's just laid an assist on for that Nelson. I can't think of his first name. Scored a great goal.
Is it Mandela?
To win the game.
No.
No, he's dead.
Nelson Mandela. I totally agree with you on there, Everton Rose.
Yeah. Reece Nelson, that's it.
We all have something in common, don't we? And it's the love. Is it love, Wes? Do we love our club? Is it love?
I think it's a love-hate relationship, innit? I think it's 100% a love-hate relationship.
Has it always been like that for you? Or
no?
Did it used to be a lot more? It's genuine for me. It used to be a lot more laid back.
Yeah, it's like the passion's always been there. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I'll, even though I say it, I don't mean it. That like I'm wiping my hands off them. We all say it. We'll all go, if this happens or that happens, that's it. I'm finished with Everton. But we don't mean it. You know what I mean? We'll still keep supporting them.
We said this last week when we had a pint. Do you know what? I make it sound like we're Alcoholics Anonymous and we're going out drinking all the time. We don't. We meet about every 3 or 4 weeks, and all we do is talk about Everton. But we did say last week I could walk away, and that's because we were so down in the dumps. And what we said was, Wes, I wish we could walk away. Let's get it in perspective.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like you can say it, but doing it is 2 different things, isn't it? And it's like if I walked away from Everton, like I'd literally just be a quibbling mess in the corner. I'd be dribbling all over myself and everything. I'd have to talk to the missus, and apparently she's a nice woman.
You'd have to go shopping. You'd have to go shopping on a match day.
Oh, no, that's taking things a bit too far, the Robs.
I've been decorating, haven't I, mate? Every time Everton got beat this season, I did a deal with the wife at the start of the season. I went, every time Everton draw or get beat because I thought we were going to turn the corner, I'll do your jobs in the house. Oh, my God. There you go. I'll say no more about that one. I'll keep me gob shut next season.
Yeah. He's currently on his his third extension.
It's like absolutely soul destroying.
I know that this is the thing though, Rob. Right? It's like 13 games now without a win, and you're like, Robbie's just playing for a win, so he hasn't got to do any more DIY.
No, I did, but I did my own legs. I think the way my wife, she's absolutely fantastic. She'd have been made up just be doing jobs, but I should have just said it when we get beat. But no, Motor Gob said when we draw as well, so it's cost me dearly.
But you're obviously done that when you naming when we won the 4 games on the bounce.
Oh, I was coasting, Dad. It was pipe and slippers time then. But it only lasted a short amount of time. So, friend, am I right in thinking now that due to the run that we've gone on, that is the worst in our history since 1878?
No. We the last
winless run.
Yeah, the last time we didn't win was 14 games in 1937.
Oh, I was 2 then, so I wouldn't have remembered that.
Well, here's a question for you, look.
Oh, was the question for me?
There we go. He's convinced that we'll survive, but do we look for a new manager next season or risk our last season at Goodison with Dyche?
Oh, what a question. Blue Stew.
It's a great question.
Wow.
The thing is, if he keeps us up 2 years on the bounce, that doesn't mean he automatically deserves another go, because
he's got a 3-year contract, hasn't he?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, obviously the points deduction and stuff like that wasn't him. So you had the 6 points on, and we would have 32 points from a less than mediocre team. So, is 32 points for Dyche, like playing dice ball, is that a good return? Taking the 6 points, which was not his fault or any of the players' fault. Do you take that into consideration?
I think it's going to be down to the financial side of things again, and obviously whoever comes in as the owners, if they're prepared to take a bit of a hit and go, listen, thanks very much, and pay him the final year of his contract and then get another one. Because at the end of the day, it's going to cost Everton money again. So it's one of those. We can only speculate and go yes or no. It's the ones who've got the money in their back pockets that are going to make that decision, aren't they? Because as it stands, he's not going anywhere currently.
Not at the minute, no. But Joey 11 there's got a point. Says if Burnley beat us on Saturday, that completely changes the dynamic of the season, doesn't it? Like, because we literally can't afford to get beat by Burnley. We've got to beat them. We've got to beat them.
Yeah,
to increase that gap.
3 points. A draw. No. We can't afford any more draws now. We've been coasting. Okay, the draw last night was acceptable. Should have got a point on Saturday against Bournemouth. Okay, yeah, we didn't. We're talking about the past again, but those wins have got to come on the board, because those games are getting less and less, and we're getting more tense.
Tazzel says even 32 points at this stage in the season is abysmal, but it is. But at the same time, we would be 10 points clear of Luton. So we'd have to pretty much lose 4 games and they win every game for us to go down. So, it's tit for tat, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get what he's saying. 32 points is not great, but putting things into perspective with this team, it's not a bad return if we didn't have the 6 point deduction. But that's not none of the players or the management staff that's at the club at the minute. That's not their fault. That's being thrust upon them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they've had to deal with that, as well as dealing with another breach coming away. So it's let's just see what happens. We can, you know, fingers crossed, we can get through this season, and then, you know, we get a takeover, and then things might change. You know what I mean? But there's this rumor going around that if 777 get it and the stadium is built, that they're going to sell the stadium off, and then they're going to rent the stadium off whoever buys the stadium, which to me just completely, like, what was the point in building it in the first place if you're going to do that? Because any revenue that's generated from that stadium is going to go to the people that own the stadium, because there's going to be concerts and all sorts there. You know what I mean? And obviously there's going to be like function rooms there. There's going to be conference rooms there that people are going to hire out. And all that revenue will not be coming to Everton. They'll be going to the owners of the football ground.
Yeah, so, same with the Euros, mate, as well. Same with the Euros. I mean, I don't know how much you rent your ground out to be used in games like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make good business sense to sell it for like a quick profit. You know what I mean? And then rent it back, because how long are you going to be renting it for starters? So whatever money that it's bought for will slowly erode away to end up being a lead weight round your neck, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, friends, we've been going for an hour and 2 minutes. I mean, we can talk some Sierra Hotel India Tango, can't we?
We haven't even started.
No, I know. We could go for a marathon. We might go for the Guinness Book of Records depending on what decisions we get in the next week or two. So, friends, I'm going to bid you good night, and our punters good night, and we'll be back to talk with you on Saturday at 2:00 for our pre-match briefing. Not quite sure who's on the preview. Will that be Friday, will it? The preview will be Friday. Possibly Ryan and one other. With his Brian's got his new toys with him. He's got his new setup. He's got his new. Has he got a 15-inch MacBook or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So
Sean there. The new stadium has become an hindrance. It has, because it was trying to build a team as well as build a stadium, and that's to the detriment of the team rather than the stadium. You know, so yeah, it has become a bit of a poison chalice on it, and it's like,
be lovely when it's done.
Once it's built, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, and then we'll see revenues increase, sponsorships increase, but we've just got to stay in this league for that to happen. Yeah, they'll all want a piece of the cake then, Wes, won't they? Yeah. Well, Sniffer said Sean Dyche would have been on course for your highest points tally in 3 seasons, which is kind of sad, isn't it? Really, that Sean Dyche will be on the highest points tally in 3 seasons. That doesn't say much for the last 2 seasons, does it? You know what I mean? No, not at all. Well, let's hope that we're on the up after last night, mate. Let's hope we're on the up, and we can turn over Burnley, put a little bit of daylight between us and Luton again, because I think they've lost 9 games on the bounce now or something. So they're in a bit of free fall as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, so they've had a hard run of games. Keep smiling, everyone, and have a safe couple of days, and we'll chat to you again on Saturday at 2 p.m. Have a good evening. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.